Hello, my dear students and the rest of the learners. Welcome to part 35 of a 53-part series of tutorials in system analysis and design. In this presentation, we are going to be looking on the introduction and importance of system testing. My name is Meme JM, or you can simply call me Emily Swap. Now, this is the first subtopic in the topic, perform system testing and debugging. And therefore, our first subtopic, which will be part of a continuous series of tutorials up to the 40th presentation, we shall be looking on performing system testing and debugging. But in this presentation, we shall be looking on the introduction and the importance of system testing. Testing is a systematic process that identifies errors, weaknesses, and potential risks in the system before it is deployed for actual use. In practice, even the most carefully designed and implemented systems may contain errors, which makes testing indispensable for ensuring quality and user satisfaction. System testing is therefore the structure and process of evaluating a complete and integrated information system to determine whether it meets the specified requirements and functions, that is, functional and non-functional requirements, correctly under different operational conditions. It can also be defined as the process of executing a system or its components under controlled conditions in order to verify that it meets specified requirements and behaves as expected. Testing is conducted by comparing expected results with the actual results that have been obtained during system execution. Unlike unit testing, which focuses on individual modules or components, system testing evaluates the system as a whole, including interactions between modules, data integrity and performance, security, and usability. Conceptually, system testing can be visualized as a simulated operational environment in which the system is subjected to a variety of real-life conditions and scenarios to ensure it functions correctly under all expected circumstances. System testing is therefore a critical activity because it ensures an information system functions correctly, meets specified requirements, and is free from critical defects before it is deployed or before it is implemented. It is a critical phase in the system development life cycle carried out after the system has been designed and implemented to ensure that it operates correctly, reliably, and in accordance with the requirements defined during system analysis. It also ensures that the developed system satisfies the given requirements and performs reliably in a real operational environment. It prevents costly failures after deployment by identifying errors as early as possible. It ensures that individual programs have been written correctly, that the integrated system behaves as expected, and that the outputs conform to design and requirement specifications. It supports quality assurance, protects organizational data integrity, and builds confidence among users and management that the system can support business operations effectively. It also provides documented evidence that the system meets the required standards before acceptance and installation. System testing also ensures that the system complies with legal, institutional, and operational standards. These may include data protection requirements, audit requirements, and internal control procedures that are common in public institutions and training environments. Therefore, system testing aims to detect errors or defects in the system, ensure that the system meets functional and non-functional requirements, validate that the system performs reliably in a real operating environment, confirm that the system is ready for deployment, and therefore, the role of system testing is multifaceted. in the sense that it verifies that the system performs the function defined or the functions defined in the requirement specification. It uncovers defects, errors, and inconsistencies introduced during design or implementation, and as well as assessing non-functional attributes such as reliability, performance, security, and usability. It also minimizes operational risks and post-deployment failures. In an educational institution, for example, a Meliswap school, effective system testing prevents issues such as incorrect examination results, loss of student records, security breaches, and system downtime during registration or examination periods. Early detection of errors reduces costly corrective maintenance and it protects institutional credibility. It is normally conducted after coding and integration are complete, but before system deployment. The aim is to confirm that the system conforms or performs correctly under realistic operational conditions. System testing is therefore implemented following a planned methodology as follows. Number one is developing a testing plan in which you identify system components that are to be tested, and you also define the testing objectives. You also identify testing tools and environment. Number two is to design test cases by creating test scenarios based on system requirements, as well as defining input data and expected outputs. Number three is preparing test environment by installing system on a testing server, as well as configuring databases and network connections. Number four is to execute the test cases by running tests using predefined data, as well as observing system responses or responses. Number five is recording the results. Here, you compare expected output with the actual output. You also record errors and inconsistencies. Number six is to report and fix errors. This is where developers correct the identified bugs. Number seven is retesting the system, whereby you repeat testing the system in order to verify that corrections have been solved or that the corrections have solved the problem that has been identified. Therefore, system testing is essential because it ensures that the system operates effectively before implementation. In practice, system testing contributes to system quality through the following mechanisms. Number one, it detects system errors early. Here, testing helps identify defects before system is deployed. The testing identifies bugs in algorithms, database queries, and system interfaces. An example is incorrect database query that retrieves wrong records. Number two is ensuring system reliability. Here, testing is done to improve reliability and performance. It is also repeated, or the testing is repeated, in order to ensure that the system performs consistently under different conditions. For example, testing system performance during high user traffic. Number three is ensuring requirement compliance. Here, you confirm that the system meets user and organizational requirements. Number five is enhancing security. The testing is done to identify vulnerabilities. Security testing detects vulnerabilities such as unauthorized access, weak passwords, and data breaches. Number five is reducing maintenance costs. Fixing of errors during testing is cheaper than fixing them later after the system has been deployed. The errors are corrected during deployment or development, thus reducing costs and fixes after deployment. Therefore, it is important because maintenance costs are reduced. If the system can be tested early and errors corrected early, then the entire process of doing any maintenance cost later becomes cheaper. In addition, we are saying that when errors are corrected during development, they reduce the cost fixes after deployment. Number 6 is improving user satisfaction. It ensures that the system works correctly for end users. The test cases verify whether the system outputs match the requirements. An example is generating accurate financial reports. And with that, my dear students and the rest of the learners, we have come to the end of part 35. You can proceed to part 36 of the 53 part series, in which we are going to learn about the types of system testing. Congratulations for learning part 35 of 53 on introduction and importance of system testing in perform system testing and debugging topic in system analysis and design course. You can access the rest of the parts in the series as well as other computer or ICT videos by clicking or tapping on Emily Swap ICT YouTube channel just below this video. To subscribe to the channel, if you have not subscribed, just tap on the one below here, the one which reads subscribe. Just tap on it and it will change it to subscribed. But if it already reads as subscribed, thank you very much, because you are already a participant of this channel. For any further correspondence, kindly write it to us through the email emilyswap@gmail.com. Also, don't forget that you can join the channel by clicking on join button, and you follow the prompts that will be displayed, especially when you want to get more services from the trainer who is Emily Swap himself. Let's meet in part 36 of the series, and God bless.